We are finally moving towards getting the timing chain off from the passenger side. We're not going to currently do the driver's side because we have to remove the cams on the passenger side ordinary to redo the hydraulic lifters and the followers. All have to be done with it in sequence, which basically meaning top dead center on first piston on this side. How can you tell? Here in all data, it does show you right here the timing mark, and here is R with an arrow. It lines straight up with that bolt right here on the VVT. So as long as it's with that bolt on the VVT, this side is in time. This side is in time. So that's a really good point. Just make sure that it lines up. If you need to, go ahead and put a yellow paint marker on it, which you can get at an automotive store. Mark it. Mark all your timing when you put it back on too. It'll help you make sure that the timing is proper. You definitely don't want to mess this up at all. Mine is in time on the passenger side. Also to keep a note that your keyway on the mnemonic balancer right here will be at 12 o'clock. If you don't know 12 o'clock, look at a clock and you'll be able to tell. It's always best to look at it too before you say, oh no, it's there. No, just look at it, take your time, look at the timing mark on the cam, and look back at the crank. Cam, crank, cam, crank. Keep doing that until you are satisfied. Probably wondering if I'm feeling better yet, and the answer to that is no. You guys hear that? Coyote in the background. Anywho, we're gonna be timing the driver's side today, and I'm gonna show you where the crank needs to be, and this is gonna determine if your driver's side is timed. So let's show you on all data first. So here it is in all data, and as you can tell, that keyway is at 5 o'clock, which lines up with that little notch on the oil pump housing right there. And I can even take a piece of paper for y'all, and I'm gonna go right about, see that? All you gotta do is just match the same thing. If you don't know your 5 o'clock, just match it. Also make sure that you pull all your spark plugs out or you will be fighting compression. Compression fighting sucks really bad because it makes it really stiff to turn the crank. Let's go ahead and show you what I mean. So if you have your ratchet facing the same direction as your keyway, you're just going to turn your ratchet all the way to 5 o'clock. Go down. And right now, the keyway is not at 5 o'clock. So if you miss that, you have to go a whole new revolution until it meets it back again. Take your time, guys. Be careful. Just watch what you're doing. That's all it is. And then we can go ahead and take the timing chain off of this side. I'm gonna go ahead and spin mine back a whole nother revolution to get this side to go up, because right now it will be that side again. But we're gonna come back to this side. As your crank is at the 5 o'clock position, you can finally start removing your timing guide and your chains. If you cannot get it out, especially the guide on the left side, you can turn that a little bit, but make sure you put it back at 5 o'clock. That's gonna keep that in time. We're always gonna want to check that anyways to make sure it's at 5 o'clock when we reassemble it. I'm gonna be replacing my phasers as well as all of my hydraulic lifters and followers on both sides. Ordinary to do that, it's pretty simple. You want to start by removing the front cap. Remove the front cap, and I'm gonna say that in quotations. Remove the front cap first, then go ahead and start doing your pattern. It's the same thing on the other side. Your front cap first, and then go ahead and remove the other one. If you do not remove the front cap first, this can cause cam damage. Keep that in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of the night. We had a little bit of problem with the crank sprocket, but we were finally able to release it. If your crank sprocket does not come off, make sure that the keyway is aligned first, and then go ahead and proceed. Do not hammer at your crank. Do not hammer at that. Get yourself a puller and pull it out if it gets stuck. We got them all out. Here is one 12 bolt. These are 8s, and then this one right here, don't ask me why I have it in my timing cover socket, but this one right here has a different head to it. But I was able to use a 3/8 socket right onto it, and I was able to back it right out. And that one is right there. It's a real easy spot to see it. You can't miss it. Once you get that out, your oil pump should be able to come right off. Make sure that you unbolt your oil pan. I actually dropped my 3/8 in my oil pan, so it looks like I'm going to be dropping the K member or lifting this motor a little bit higher so I can get the oil pan out and I can get my 3/8 out of the frickin' oil pan today. All right, guys, so here we are in front of the oil pump. Now, these tend to fail, right? We want to prevent that. Since we're already doing the timing in the Coyote, we might as well do the oil pump. MMR makes an amazing oil pump gear. It's out of billet. We know that it's not going to break. I also have their crank sprocket as well, which is definitely going to help out when we boost it. You have these bolts here. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 bolts to take out. Once you take it out, remove the top plate, you're able to access your timing gear, your oil pump gear. And then once you get the oil pump gear out, we're going to take this oil pump gear, whole lot of assembly lube. You want to keep this gear lubed. I'm going to do the assembly lube all up on the outside and the inside. I'm going to do it on this same thing. I'm going to goo it all up. Then I'm going to pour some oil in here too to keep that bearing happy, because if your oil pump gear goes out, let's just say it's not a great day for you at all. You want to make sure that this gear stays completely lubricated. After you do that, we can come back over to the car and we can put it back onto the crank, put the crank sprocket back in, and go ahead and start buckling up the oil pan, because you will not have to remove the oil pan after all that is said and done. Tomorrow, I'm going to start taking off my phasers. So these phasers, those are coming off. And then I'm going to start lifting up the cams on one side at a time. I'll do this side. I'm going to make sure that they're in a neutral position, which means that none of the valves are being pressed. And if you are in the clear on that, you can go ahead and start removing your caps. Front cap first, and then go ahead and remove the rest. Latch adjusters are still soaking in the blue container over there. Soaking, I got to compress them and make sure that they're going to be able to squirt. And I'll put them in here. I'll put the followers on. I'll put the cams back on in neutral position, which I will most likely show you what the neutral position is for the cams. And then once that is said and done, we will be able to install the cams back again. Ordinary, to get the cams back in, there's a certain way you have to torque down all the main caps to make sure that you follow along as hard as you can on this step, because if you are doing a cam swap, then you're most likely doing a valve spring. You need to make sure that all of that is proper, and as well as the torque in between all of your caps. Once I'm done with that, I can start putting the timing chain together and get it timed. Once after the time is done, I can slap on my intake, lube her all up, fill her up with coolant, and try to start her for the first time. So here we are, yet on another brand new day. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and today I'm gonna go ahead and show you what is next. Here's the beautiful Coyote. This is exactly what we're working on, and yes, we are definitely going to be doing the oil pump gear today, but that's going to be on the last part. The final thing that I need to do, for one, is raise this motor up a little more, and the reason for it is because if you guys remember last episode, I dropped my 3/8 socket in the oil pan. We don't want to leave that in there. We definitely want to take it out, and that's the only way that I'm going to be able to get it out is by removing the pan completely. I can literally drop the K-member, take the oil pan out. Who wants to do all that mess? After that, I gotta start taking off the phasers. I gotta make sure that the cams are in a resting position so I can go ahead and remove the phasers. Once I remove the phasers, I'm gonna start unbuckling the cam cap, because we are going to finally, yes, this is the step. We are finally going to be able to put the hydraulic lifters and the followers back in and put the cams back on, torque all the caps down to spec, as well as both sides. Once again, we're only doing one side at a time. That way we don't get the caps mixed up and they're in order. I like to keep them all in order, especially with the Coyote. You want to keep them caps all in order. They are numbered, so if you get confused, look at the caps, they're numbered, and they also have arrows. If you just take it, pull it up, set it down, pull it up, set it down, set it down the same way you took it off. That way you know exactly which cap goes where. After you're done and torquing them down, because there's 3 stages, what you're going to do after that is mark it with the marker, so that way you know you torqued those individual caps at a time. And they are cross pattern, but I will definitely go into detail with that. Let's go ahead, without further ado, get started on this job, because we are almost there, ladies and gentlemen. My guides and also my tensioners should be here tomorrow. I should be able to get this motor back together by, I would say, approximately Thursday, late Friday. That's what I'm shooting for. I still got to get oil, and I still got to get coolant. So there's still more money that needs to be spent. It's better to make sure that everything is covered, all the bases are covered first, make sure the car is in time. Take your time with timing the Coyote. 100%. Make sure all your keyways and everything are accurate. Once again, if you do not know, I do have all data, and I do share all of, not most, of the information that you currently need to make sure that you get the job done the correct way. I'm going to go ahead and start unbuckling the phasers. I'm going to make sure that the cams are in a resting position, and how you would know is all of your followers will be able to go, they'll basically be able to swim. Or you can always check the followers and make sure that they can move. You see how this lope right here, the lope part is pointed up. That's what you want. You want all of them to be pointed up, because if this lope is pointed down, those cams are not in a resting position. You want to make sure it's in a resting position before you go ahead and start removing the caps. Trust me, you don't want to find out what happens if you don't. I'm going to make sure with a box and wrench. I'm gonna move it just a little bit just to make sure that it won't, you know, ding, hang over. If everything goes fine, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start removing the phasers and get the caps off from the cam. So let's go ahead and get this done. Ordinary to get these bolts out. Yes, you can do two of the options. Hold or have a friend hold down the cam that you are currently working on, as well as taking out all of these bolts right here, or you can put it on a light impact gun with the correct socket. And the socket for that should look just like that, okay? It should have all those grooves in it. It's a 10 and it goes right on it. So when you go ahead and torque this, the bolts come out without moving the cam. Walla bing, walla boom. This right here, you're also going to want to take out, because once you release this phasers right here, ladies and gentlemen, it's down to the book, basically. Push down on this guy here, which is your tensioner, and turn it so that way it's eligible to let go of the timing chain. I'm going to put mine back in, the bolts at least, so I can turn that and then go ahead and unbolt them. This size right here, if I don't have it listed right here, I will. Make sure you use the correct bolts, as well as changing these bolts. You should have new ones for the new phasers. Don't reuse these bolts. Torque to yield.